good afternoon. I guess it's 3:15, and that means it's time for SnackBoy. Hi, welcome to SnackBoy. I'm your host, Terry, and as always, we're filming from beautiful Laurel, Maryland in the SnackBoy studio. Today, we're happy to present our third episode, and we even have a first. Today, we're going to present our first viewer mail. Let's hear it, shall we? 1 second, I'm still not quite awake. Okay. Our first viewer mail comes from Caroline from AOL, and she writes, Dear Terry, do you feel that a lot of cool people turn into bloated, self-important jerks once they become celebrities? I know this sounds harsh, Terry, but 2 weeks ago, when I was in New York City visiting my sister, on the sidewalk outside of Virgin Records, I ran into Shannon Doherty. When I asked Shannon to pose for some pictures with me, she gave me a mean snicker and kept on walking down the sidewalk. Is it me, or do most celebrities get a huge chip on their shoulder once they become famous? Carolyn, that is a very good question. It is so good that it inspired me because before you wrote in this morning, I was going to do today's episode on my two cousins. But you inspired me and you resurrected demons from SnackBoy's past. So now I'm going to hold off on doing the cousin show until tomorrow, and we're going to talk about my little brush with celebrity venom, and that was with one Martha Stewart. You may say to me, Terry, Martha Stewart's a sweetheart. She has that magazine Living, and it gives us all sorts of great tips about what to do with our house and our gardens. Well, if not for Martha, we would have never invented the computer cozy, or, okay, let's stop right there. Martha Stewart is a very creative woman, and she owns a huge plantation, and I'm sure that she knows more about gardening, cozies, and style than many of us. In fact, I saw her on Ellen, and she even is funny. But when I ran into Martha Stewart about 3 years ago in Washington, D.C., it was anything but funny. Let me paint the picture. I, at the time, was a waiter at a restaurant in Union Station. I'm not going to give you the name. There's about 4 restaurants. Anyway, one night when it was almost time to get off of my shift, there she came into the bar. That night she was doing Larry King Live in D.C., so she came in with a couple friends, sat at the bar, got herself a martini, and started to relax and unwind, have a good time. Anyway, long story short, I know that one of my mom's friends is just nuts over Martha, just crazy for the gal. And I knew that if I could get an autograph from my mom's friend, she would be tickled pink. So I got a napkin and a pen, and I walked down there, and there she was sitting at the bar. There she was looking so sweet in a nice blouse and a little skirt, just as tiny as could be. Maybe, 5'4", just as cute as could be, little dyed hair, looking like someone's nice grandmother. Anyway, I went up to her, and I said, Hi, excuse me, Mrs. Stewart. Could I ask one little favor? Would you mind if I could just ask you for a little? And she goes, No, I will not sign your autograph. If I had a dime for every upstart who asked me for an autograph, I'd be a rich woman. And I was like, Mrs. Stewart, I didn't mean to. Oh, I know your type. I'm sitting here trying to have some drinks with my friends, and you come up to me and you say, Can I have an autograph? Well, mister, how do you think you would feel if someone came up to you every day and asked for an autograph? Well, let me tell you, I turned on my heels and I walked and marched right away from Mrs. Stewart. Because let me tell you something. Carolyn, a lot of celebrities do have chips on their shoulders, and it's not a pretty picture. I suppose at the same time, though, if we were celebrities, we wouldn't exactly feel comfortable being in the street, on the mall, and not being able to, to blend into the woodwork. But now, because I've told one mean story, I should also end on a nice note. I ran into, what's her name from Friends, the one with the hair? Rachel, Jennifer Aniston, and she was just a sweetheart. Not only did she sign SnackBoy an autograph, but she even gave it a little kiss and was very, very friendly. So the moral of the story is, well, there is no moral. Tomorrow, just to give you a little teaser, we're going to be talking about SnackBoy's cousins. But first, talking about cousins, I forgot something. We got a news story from Grandma. That's right, Grandma. If you watched the first episode, you'll remember that my grandmother is going through a state of dementia and living in our house. Well, recently on the kitchen counter, we had a tape dispenser. And this has been since the last show. And she came into the kitchen and she's like, Honey, I ate my food again today. I was a good girl. And then she looked at the tape dispenser and she goes, Honey, whose shoe is that? And I looked at her and I said, Grandma, does that really look like a shoe to you? Oh, yes. Whose shoe is that? And what's it doing on the kitchen counter?